Should we start like the show? Say what it is.
Sure. Let's
All right.
start this thing, kid.
This new Blur show is called West Coast Massholes, and it stars me, Todd Robert Anderson, but more importantly, it stars Josh Wingate.
No.
Most outspoken troll.
It's Joshua Matthew Wingate. You think you're better than me because you got three names? I got three names too. How you like me now, kid?
You want me to call you Joshua?
Matthew Wingate.
Joshua Matthew Wingate. There you go.
Because one host can't have three names because everybody's going to think you're better than me.
That's not true. Everybody's going to think I'm more pretentious than you. But now you matched my pretentiousness with the three names. So you got...
We sound like we're at Martha's Vineyard for the summer.
Are you walking around outside?
Yeah, I'm in the woods. I get most of my sanity done out here.
Yeah.
Because inside my little dwelling, there's two of us. Well, there's three of us because one of them's furry. A fur animal, fur child.
What do you got? Like a chinchilla? Is it a chinchilla? You look like a chinchilla kind of guy.
No. She's a feline. She's been with me over 20 years now.
Oh, nice.
So it's
20 years. Damn.
Yeah.
Is she gonna turn 21? Do you think?
I don't know. Cause March was her 20. So we shall see. We shall see.
Got another year.
She's had several lives. Ups and downs, but she's doing all right.
Is she is she skin and bones right now?
No, actually, because I've been giving her for about the last year, fluids, subcutaneous fluids, because of preemptive kidney failure. So but it's been doing wonders. Twice a week, poke her with a big needle, man. I don't know how. I mean, somehow I've gotten pretty decent at it, but every once in a while, I would not want to get poked with that needle, would you?
No, I had to do that same thing for one of my cats for a long time before I finally said, you know what, Doc? She hates this. I hate this. She's miserable. He was like, yeah, it's time to go. We spent so much money doing that shit too.
Yeah, I do it. It's not that much money, but her brother passed a couple years ago. He was 18-ish. He had the big cancer, and so they were litter mates, but she keeps going, man.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
The last over 20-year-old cat that I met was sweet as pie, and all she wanted to do was be scritched, but she had no fat. It was just skin and bones. So it was like petting a furry skeleton. It was weird.
Yeah, I know. I've encountered cats of an elder age that have that similarity, and I understand. My Buddha cat kind of got that way towards the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Can you assholes talking about cats?
Yeah, well, how Massachusetts is that, right?
Yeah.
Hey, can you do your phone landscape wise?
Yeah.
Horizontal? That's better. Yeah, now I can see more.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
I see trees. It looks really nice.
The light leakage. Look at that. This host is more cinematic than the other host. But,
Well, that's true, except like every time you move, the feed is very staccato on Zoom. So you look like a crappy MTV video from 1984.
Well, you say crappy, I say artistic.
Did you grow up with a Massachusetts accent?
I did, and I found the theater, spelled with an R-E, when I was 15 in high school.
You got to have three names if you pronounce theater like that bullshit.
Theater. One of my theater coach, my mentor, Frank Moffat, I was a mumbling, I swallow every word I said, and everything was like kind of like wicked lazy mouth like this, if you can understand what I'm saying. But so he made me put hard candies in my cheeks and enunciate Shakespeare, and then I learned to rid myself of the accent, but I still use it for comedy, and I still use it in acting sometimes. But or if I'm
Sure.
angry, it comes out.
And
It comes out
but you
when I'm
don't
angry.
drink anymore, so you don't get the drunk Massachusetts accent happening.
Not much, not much. But I will. If I talk to my family, like my cousins back home, forget about it. You need a translator if you're listening. So.
Well,
But you, what about you? Did you ever have the accent, or
no,
were you like
no,
Western Massachusetts, right? Natick or something, like really
yeah,
waspy?
Natick. Yeah, Natick has an
Yeah.
accent. Sherburne, my town, didn't have much of an accent. My mother had a little bit of one because she grew up in Ware, Massachusetts.
Uh-huh.
Um, but and like you, it would kind of come and go. And if she got irritated or if she had a couple beers, then she'd sound that way more.
Mm.
But I grew up. My dad was a Air Force brat growing up, so he had no accent for anywhere. He just sounded as as a
It just sounded
just.
just.
I don't know where you're from if you don't have any trace of anything, but he's just American, general American.
He's network television.
He's yeah, he's network television. Yeah, good point.
Perfect.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that's a
What
little
town were you from again?
inside actor joke.
Got to do those.
Quincy guy, Quincy.
Mm.
Spelled Quincy, but you don't pronounce it that way. It's Quincy. Z.
Now, is the Quincy accent different than, or how is it? I'm sure it is, but how is it different from like a Revere or
Oh, well, Revere you try to stay away from, but you don't go to Revere.
Why not?
They got
They
IROC
got them
season holidays
hoodsies there,
still.
Josh. They got the hoodsies.
Yeah. They wear their gold chains outside the turtlenecks still to this day. No, I think I love accents stuff like that, and I noticed even Quincy, which is bordered to Dorchester. Dorchester and Quincy have a very similar accent, but then they both border Southie, and then all of a sudden in Southie, even the toughest guy goes from having a voice that's chest and throat to way up here. What are you fucking? What, you think you're better than me? Everything's up in the nasal. It's like, where you from? What's up? Nice sneakers, kid. Give him the meal. Knock your fucking teeth out.
Is that why? Is that why Marky Mark sounds so nasally to me when he's acting?
Oh yeah, the Wahlberg thing. Every time he gets mad, it's up here. He comes way up here. Like, right? Isn't that? So that's my
good.
terrible Wahlberg information.
I don't know. I thought that was pretty right on. I'd totally
Yeah.
watch you in a Spencer movie. You can take over for him.
I didn't watch it. Am I
No,
bad? No
it's
offense to you,
fine.
Mark. You're a very successful man.
Yeah,
You made an empire out here, kiddo. Not like you're gonna watch this
it's
fucking
not
thing,
bad.
but
It's fine. It's a Netflix. It's a Netflix movie. It's fine. It does what it needs to do.
Waste time. What is it?
Yeah, waste time while you're kind of high on the couch in the afternoon. Fuck it. It's quarantine times.
That's good.
I watched that one and Extraction with Thor. And then what was that other action movie that came out with there was one with Ryan Reynolds that Michael Bay directed. And then there was that
he's not in prison. I would have thought Michael Bay would have been in prison from the Me Too movement. That whole thing.
Was he a Me Too guy?
I mean, didn't he? Wasn't the story that he had the way he gave Megan Fox the role? The audition was he had her wash his car, in like a white T-shirt or something like that. Wasn't that like the whole thing?
Well, yeah, and the way his camera lingers on her in those Transformers movies is pretty it's pretty weird. Pretty weird.
You say weird, some say odd. Okay, it's odd.
Or porn. It's porn. It's porn. It's not at.
Are you ashamed of the female body? Is that what it is? That's okay if you
I'm not saying I didn't enjoy seeing what I saw, but it made me feel creepy.
I see. I think that's just the red hair. It just generally makes people look creepy. That's right. People thought, because my beard is like multicolor and I have a lot of ginger in there. I don't know if you can get it in this light here.
I can
So
see
some
it.
people actually think that I was once ginger on top of the head, but weirdly, I'm kind of a darker brown. And then all of a sudden, this like Technicolor thing came about.
You're what they call a red beard. You got a red beard. Isn't that like a pirate? Red beard?
Yeah. 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 Is it? I don't know. Arr. Arr.
That's a
What are you
terrible
drinking
pirate.
in that cup?
So what are you doing? What are you doing today other than this?
The cup. Are you?
You keep breaking up.
I think. Sorry, buddy. Yeah.
You sound like an overproduced reggae song all of a sudden.
Smoking the spliff. Smoking the spliff. I'm gonna get my lift. Smoking the spliff.
That's not a reggae song. That was terrible.
That is like a neo reggae song. It's like a new reggae song, okay? Bob Marley would be proud.
He would not. He would be so angry. He'd probably write a song about what an asshole you are.
Maybe. But the government
Which would be a great honor. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
If Bob Marley wrote a song about what an asshole you are.
Yeah, here I was thinking I could maybe get Taylor Swift to write a song about me. But Bob Marley, that's a whole other level.
What would you want a Taylor Swift song about you to sound like?
Whew. I have no idea.
I mean, would it be upbeat, or would it be like a sad, like country jam, or what would the lyrics be like?
I'd want it to be pretty insulting. That's all I want it to be.
Just really insulting?
Yeah, to me.
Like Taylor Swift roasts you in a song?
Yeah, because I think that would give me street cred.
I don't know what's. I'm not going to pretend I know what street cred is or how to get it, but I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift isn't going to get it for you.
Well, I don't know. I was just saying it was a thought, because like, why not? But if Bob Marley could rise from the ashes and write a song about me, that'd be way more impressive and probably less likely.
You think it would be scary because he's undead now?
No. I'm actually disappointed that we're in the apocalypse and there's no zombies. Like, I was really looking forward to, like, I have some martial arts weapons that could do some serious brain damage, and I'm not able to use them.
Yeah, I was watching the original Dawn of the Dead the other day, and I realized I gotta make a friend who knows how to fly a helicopter.
Ooh. That's a good idea.
Because the lady in that movie tells her boyfriend, she's like, "You're gonna teach me how to fly a helicopter, because what if you get bit, you dumbass?" And so he has to teach her. And I was like, "That's brilliant. We should get skills that we've never had before, so we can fly away from this mess when it gets ugly again."
So note to the one viewer, you should look up if they're doing pilot licensing right now, lessons for helicopters.
I don't need a license. I just need to know how to do it. I don't want a license. If in an emergency, I want to know how to fly a helicopter. That's all.
That's fair.
We can do this off the books, under the table. There's no reason to involve the government or any other authority.
Speaking of which, not to get too far into this realm, but did you see the pictures from Boston today?
No.
There are hundreds, if not thousands, of protesters at City Hall. Yeah. I think they're from Sherborne.
So yeah, right.
Sherborne.
Yeah, right. The people from Sherborne, they may have organized that. They may have used their money to organize something like that, but I guarantee you they're not there.
No. I have I had little hope for humanity before all this, and now I have even less.
Yeah, it depends on who you talk to, because like a friend of mine said the other day that she sent me this video, like where this guy It was like set in the future, and this guy was reading a,
Oh, I saw
children's
that too.
story.
Yeah. I saw
And
that
it's
one.
all, it's all about, well, we're learning all these important lessons, and when we go back to real life, it's going to be different, and then we'll blah, 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 and the world environment will be better. And I was like, I remember the first time I smoked pot. None of that is going to happen. No, we're not.
No.
Everybody's going to do their best to go back to the way it was. It won't be, but everybody's going to just go back to doing the dumb shit they did before. It's not going to, people aren't going to miraculously stop eating meat and start driving only electric cars. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, my freezer is stocked. I don't see anything wrong with eating meat, but that's a different conversation. I was a vegetarian for 8 years too, so we could have that conversation.
Were you a vegetarian when we did that movie 12 years ago?
It could have been. I hardly remember yesterday, never mind 12 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
That was it 12 years ago? It could have been longer than that.
Well, remember the post-production took years, so I think it came out in 8 years ago in the festivals, but we shot it in 08, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, actually, I'm sure we did, because that was outside of last year and now this year, that was one of the worst years I had as far as finances as an actor. And
well, that was the crash, right? And then
and the writer's strike.
The writer's strike? Yeah, I didn't work for 3 years. That was my longest stint back then.
That was hardcore.
Stint. Yeah. And I just went a while, and then finally this last fall into early this year started picking back up for the Wingate. But now we got this, I don't have to tell you.
And God knows what this is going to mean for us when business opens back up. I don't know what that's going to be.
Right.
I mean, they're never going to let me on a set because I look sickly, so they're not going to let me on a set with anyone important.
Self-deprecating humor is the best.
It's fun.
It is funny.
It's easier to roast myself. I mean, I know like you and I trade a lot of insults on the Facebook because you like trolling Blursh. You're a Blursh troll, and now you have a Blursh show. It's like negativity being rewarded.
You too can be a troll and then a star. Follow my path. I'll put a link in here in the comments. I'm going to put a link to my Venmo. You pay me, and I will show you how to troll.
Trolling for money.
You'll be a Blur star if you know how to troll like me.
Yeah, that's the coveted thing, to be a Blur star. Get on this channel. It's mostly just been one guy.
It's great. I love the Donnie Williams show. It's my favorite one, though.
Oh, good. It's funny. That's the opposite kind of show that I wanted to do when I made this satirical YouTube channel. But people do like it. So I got lots of stories. I'll tell them.
That's good. It's fun. I like it.
It's like that kind of navel gazing is what I meant to make fun of with Blursh.
Right, but because of that, it almost works.
Oh,
because
almost.
I want you to lose sleep over that word tonight. Almost.
You know how that's how you do your digs. You slip them in. You're like a master of the backwards compliment.
Yeah. Or if you talk about me on your show, I find it to be the best show there ever was. Because,
you're a narcissist. I get
the subject matter was fascinating. Yeah. It's not the first time I've been called that. My ex-wife will tell you.
Did she call you that? A narcissist?
Well, oh yeah. I started getting all the clinical terms. All the clinical terms started coming out towards the end. Mm-hmm.
How long were you married?
It was, I think, technically it was about 3 years, but then I don't think that lasted very long. That 3 years wasn't like, I think that was like signing to signing was about 3 years. Yeah.
All
Hmm.
right. Well,
It was a trial run.
that's when
Trial
they.
run.
That's when marriage is mostly live or dies in the first couple of years, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, I guess. I
So you're
guess.
just an average guy. It's nothing to be
No, I don't
ashamed
like
of.
being average. No, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed anymore. But you know,
Yeah.
I think my buddy and I were talking the other day, and the word shame came up, and because we were writing the song and we were working on some lyrics, and shame was one of the lyrics, and we changed it to pain because shame means you have like regret, right? You have regret
Yep.
and remorse over
Yep.
something. So instead of having shame, like it's all right to have pain and use it as fuel. Get revenge. No. Oh.
Revenge
No,
really is.
just
It fixes
yeah,
everything. Revenge
it
is the
does.
way to.
It does. It
It's
does.
just.
You know,
It's the
it's
only
just
answer.
it worked. It worked for every dictator.
Yeah, it
So
really has.
why not? You know.
I just watched that
No,
movie, The
but
Rhythm Section. It's all about getting revenge.
rhythm section sounds
Yeah.
like a drum line thing.
Well, there's a reason for that, and I don't want to go into it, but it's a Blake Lively movie that came out in January that the critics all hated,
Oh
and nobody went
yes.
to see it. And I watched it the other night, and I don't know what everybody's fucking problem is. It's perfectly fine.
Was that Sterling K. Brown's in this? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I saw the trailers. It looked. I actually the trailer enticed me a bit.
Yeah, the trailer is very cool. It's not, it doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it's not the bad movie that everybody said it was. It's a perfectly good, spy revenge thriller action show. I was entertained.
Okay, that's good. What do
Yeah.
you have you watched? Did you watch Peanut Butter Falcon yet?
No, I haven't watched that yet. No, I
Oh,
should have watched that because my mother-in-law was
yeah.
here, and except my mother-in-law already seen it, and so has my son. So I kind of have to do it on my own.
Okay.
You know what I did? I managed to get a hard to find copy of Corey Feldman's documentary.
Ooh. Did you watch it?
Not yet, but it's because it's another one. I told my wife, hey, I got that Corey Feldman documentary. And she said, I don't want to watch that. I was like, so I guess I got to watch it by myself.
Because this is like a JFK conspiracy level of stuff in this thing, right? That's what they're talking about. That's why it kind of got shut down.
I don't know why it got shut down, but yeah, I mean, he accuses a lot of people of a lot of things, especially
Mm,
apparently in reference to Corey Haim. He suggests that a lot of very famous people did some very abusive things to that deceased person.
yeah. Well, that was the rumor, right? That that's what he's been claiming for years, that there was a high-level Hollywood child sex ring going on,
Yeah, that's what he's
right?
saying. That's what he's saying.
Wow.
I just want to see it because I'm a completist for the two Coreys. I loved
Hmm.
the two Coreys when I was growing up.
Yeah, of course. Great. You kidding me? Lost Boys? Get out of here.
Yeah,
So
that
good.
was awesome.
You
I mean,
know?
there's the awesome ones, and then there's the straight to video garbage they did together, and it's all very interesting. They were in a
Yeah,
movie
there was,
together that you can only get on VHS tape called Busted, and it's basically a softcore porn movie.
well, it wasn't on Cinemax late at night?
It
Skinemax?
probably was. It probably was.
Yeah. Hmm. You seem like you might be one of the guys that has a VHS copy of Rad. Do you have a VHS copy of Rad?
I don't. I have it on
You know what
DVD.
movie you
Yeah,
do.
with the bikes. Yeah, I love that movie. It's a great movie. But
I thought it never
it
got,
came out on DVD. I got it on DVD. I didn't need my VHS anymore.
when did that happen? Because there was a while there that VHS tapes were going for like 5,000 on eBay.
For Rad?
Yeah. So whoever released the DVD just made a lot of people angry, I think. because it was like they must have
Yeah.
they must have they must have re-released it or did a new release on DVD.
I'd have to.
But
I gotta go. I gotta go look at it because I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure it was like one of these things where they make it to order, so they don't have copies of Rad lying around. But if you order it, they'll burn you a copy and send it to you.
which means there's a digital link. There's a digital print of it somewhere, or there's a digital existence.
And it
They've
is
made it digital.
The DVD is in its proper the film's original aspect ratio, which is like 177 to 1 or whatever. So it's not. It doesn't look like a square TV like a VHS tape would. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool. That was a fun movie. The
Yeah, it
dance
is.
scene with the bikes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got that lady who is she in jail yet or not?
Oh, is that
the one in the dance scene?
college,
I mean, it's not her really doing it, but isn't it what's her face from Full House?
Scam, right?
Yeah. The lady from Full House.
Yeah,
what's her face?
I actually did a self tape before this quarantine for a movie. It's actually a documentary movie where I guess they're doing some scripted scenes, and I was one of the fathers. I didn't know. They didn't tell me which one, or one of the lawyers or something. I actually did a self tape for about that scandal. It's going to be on Netflix. Same guy who did a couple documentaries that were on Netflix. But I just find it interesting they're casting for documentaries.
So
because I think that's the thing to do. Like they recreations or something, Like, did you see
That's always
McMillions?
the sign of a quality documentary when they do recreations, dramatic recreations of things. It's always the best.
Well, did you see McMillions? That was actually pretty interesting.
No, I didn't see McMillions.
Because they did a bunch of recreation stuff too. I think it's like, you would think that would mean it would be a bad documentary, but all the new like hit ones they're doing these recreations.
I did see that one, Stories About Bill Murray, which is almost completely recreations. And I loved the stories, and it was very entertaining, but the way they dealt with Bill Murray being in the recreations was, I can only describe it as creepy. It was like a dude in a weird mask. Didn't care for
Really?
It was weird.
Yeah.
But it's a fun documentary anyway. Check it out.
I will check it out. Yeah, because no one else can beat Bill Murray.
No.
It's like Highlander. There can only be one.
Have you heard all the legendary stories about that guy? The weird stories about him crashing weddings and all that crap?
No, I have heard some stories, but I don't know about wedding crashing.
Well, watch this documentary. I don't want to ruin it for you, but there's one story in it that to me is so funny and so believable, because if it's made up, they just nailed Bill Murray's character perfectly in the story. Mm-hmm. So I totally believe it. But watch the documentary. We'll talk about it next time.
Okay. What channel? I mean, what can you find it on Netflix, or where is it?
I think it's on one of the big three. It's on Amazon Prime, Hulu, or Netflix. I just can't remember which one.
The big three.
Aren't those the big three streaming?
One time it was the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And now
not for me, pal.
Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime.
Netflix, Amazon, Hulu.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's how I genuflect. Netflix, Amazon, Hulu.
Mm-hmm. I actually forgot the order, and I spent years in Catholic school.
Oh, you sounded weird there. You keep breaking up, man. Are you there? You sound like a robot.
Attacked by a tree squirrel. That would have made for good television.
You saw a squirrel? Because your picture is completely frozen, man. I can't.
I'm sorry. I'm coming back. I won't be out in that area again.
You sounded like a weird robot.
Well, the truth has come out. You've seen Westworld, yeah? Yeah.
All right. So why don't we wrap this up?
Okay, yeah. Next time, I will not fucking do that and go out in places where there's bad service.
Yeah, don't
Okay.
do that. Maybe sit still somewhere where you have good Wi-Fi.
Okay, I'll try. Okay, how do you wanna wrap it?
I'll just
Jimmy?
say, all right, goodbye, masshole. And you say goodbye, masshole, and then we'll say goodbye.
Okay, sounds good.
You ready? Okay, I'm gonna go. Goodbye, masshole.
Later, asshole.
Later. Goodbye.
Later. See you later. Tell your
See you
mother I
later.
said hi. All right, bye.
Bye. This has been a Blursh production. Blursh.